You did this book, crowdfunded,
Yep.
the largest amount ever in the history in that category.
Yep.
Got it. I think it was more than $300,000,
Yep.
and then produced a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
talk about that journey and talk about how you don't have a daughter, but did a whole thing on a father and a daughter and the hair, and it was just amazing.
That's what filmmaking is. It's about seeing stories that you feel like need a spotlight on them, and it's all about empathy. Being able to put yourself in other people's shoes. But a couple of years ago, I was coming across all these viral videos of Black fathers that were doing their daughter's hair, and it was interesting because part of it was obviously the videos were cute, but on the other hand, people were like looking at it like it was an anomaly. And for me, I have a lot of friends that are young fathers, and they'll do whatever for their kid, and I think also with rent being so expensive in every city now, like, oftentimes both parents have to work. So if mom has to go to work early or go out of town, and father's there, what you going to do? You going to let your kids go to school looking crazy? You're going to step up and do the hair. And so I had done a couple crowdfunding campaigns before for a couple of my independent movies. And, when I came across these videos, I was like, man, there's something here. And I always wanted to work in animation, and I did this Kickstarter campaign, and the initial goal was for $75,000. Initially, it was for the short film, and we offered the book as one of the gifts. And it was just wild. Like, so much happened through it. Like, we ended up getting a book deal in the middle of the Kickstarter campaign through Penguin Random House. And Vashti Harrison, who you mentioned, ended up, illustrating the book. And then we raised all this money, and, I could talk about a little bit of that process after this.
Okay, 866-801-8255, because I know there are people out there that want to talk to Matthew A. Cherry, and we've had Vashti on. Amazing illustrator, amazing.
Yeah, she's incredible.
Just the characters, but the short film is not dissimilar.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So she didn't have anything to do with that animation, but it just.
Yeah, she was our character designer. So,
okay, so she did.
Yeah, so basically when you do the Kickstarter campaign, I knew because I hadn't worked in the medium, I was going to need really great drawings to kind of sell what the look was going to be. And I'd luckily met Vashti like 6 months before her first book came out. Now, can't nobody really get to her because she's so popping. And she got like 5 books on the New York Times bestseller list at one time.
Amazing.
And so, she designed the characters, but on the animation tip, we went to some other places.
When did you know that Hair Love was going to change your life? Because we do projects all the time,
right.
Creative people, and you don't know if this is going to be the one.
Right, yeah. I mean, look, I've done a couple of independent full feature films, that premiered at South by Southwest, and, both instances, I think you come into it with expectations like, all right, I'm going to get the agent, I'm going to book more work, and, in my first film, that didn't happen, and, it really, like, opened your mind. You're like, dang, I'm right back to square one. I got to raise some more money and do it again, and so with this, it truly was just like a passion of love. I wanted to really do something for the kids, something that they could see themselves in, something that wasn't rooted in trauma. It was about joy. And despite even our ending where, we meet the mother, it's still hopeful and joyful. And never in a million years would I have thought that this would be the project that, got us some Oscar love. It's crazy.
Oscar love. Let's talk about that.
That'll be the spinoff. Oscar love.
Oscar love. Matthew A. Cherry is here. Oscar. I remember this was last week. Was it last week when it was a couple of weeks ago when it was announced that Hair Love was nominated for an Oscar in the short film category, which is the same category that Kobe Bryant won in as well. Rest in peace.
Yes.
Where were you when you heard that you were nominated for an Oscar?
Yeah, so the Academy kind of they email you updates, kind of letting you know what's going to happen, and so they told us that basically they asked us to record because they wanted to get some content for their social media platforms.
So you knew before everyone else.
No, but that's the thing, and I actually asked them when I saw them at the luncheon. I was like, "Did you send this email to everybody? Because why y'all have people recording and then they don't get a nomination? Now they upset with this footage." But yeah, I guess it was for everybody, and so Issa Rae was announcing the category, which also felt very surreal because she
played
voices,
the mother.
Yeah, she voices our character in our short. And so then our next question was like, man, I hope she is actually announcing our category. And when she did and she said it, it was just like pure joy, just for me, being, a former athlete, like you're so used to being told stick to sports, you tell people you have dreams outside of sports, whatever, they don't really take you serious. And so, to get an Oscar nomination, that's something that's a part of your name for life. You know what I mean? And something that just represents kind of success at the highest level in your field. And it's just insane. It's definitely life-changing.
Walk me through your process as a filmmaker. And is it dissimilar to preparing? Because I believe excellence looks the same.
Yep.
And I think there's a blueprint for excellence no matter what field you're in or what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about your process to creating Hair Love and other films that you're working on.
Well, like anything, it starts with a great team. I was lucky enough. My manager knew this woman named Karen Tolliver, who at the time was working at Fox, and we shared the project with her because we were looking for help. Didn't know that many people in animation, and she really got it right away. And I think that also goes to, when you see the stuff about the Oscars so white and the lack of diversity, like you need more people behind the scenes that are able to actually see projects at the beginning to kind of know their full potential. And we had that with Karen. And so she ended up moving to Sony. And it was just a really great situation because we did the project independently, but we still had a little bit of support from Sony, and she was able to kind of share it with her boss. And just over time, I can even tell you when we officially became like a Sony project. I don't even know if that even still is a thing now.
Are you one now?
No, I mean, it's just, because it just was so organic and we were just focusing on the work. And, for us, it was all about team building. It's all about just really making sure that you are communal and you listen to your team and you are getting feedback, not thinking that you have to be so in your head that you know everything, because there were things that we were like, okay, is this going too far? Is this going to be, tone-wise, this is off? And we just really, animation takes a long time. It took us 2 years to make a 6-minute animated short film, And
that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Do you storyboard? Are you writing the script? Why 6 minutes? Why not 15 minutes? Why not 8 minutes? Like, take us through that process.
Yeah, so I wrote the script. I had the idea, when I was inspired by these videos, and again, it was just all about the team building. So the thing about animation is like you make the movie before you actually go into production. So there's this thing called an animatic where you have all the storyboards and they basically run simultaneously where it looks like a moving picture. And so we were able to just watch it down and be like, okay, it's 8 minutes. This feels too long. Like, let's see what we can trim. And it's just a constant kind of refining of the film until you feel like it's in its most perfect state. And that's what we end up having.
Does it look the way it looked in your head when you first conceptualized it?
The thing about working with Vashti is all her stuff has this really kind of picture book like feel to it, and that was kind of the look we were going for. We wanted it to feel like a moving picture book. Painterly backgrounds, but characters that had really great expressions and really came to life.
Complexions, right? Yeah, because you have different shades of brown throughout. Like the mother is a different complexion than the daughter, and then the father. That was important. I'm imagining.
It was really important to me to focus to have a mother that was darker than the father. I think so often in mainstream media and animation as well, there's a certain standard of beauty that's always put forward. And, it was important to kind of showcase just the different complexions that Black people have because we're not just one thing.
How long have you been wearing locks?
This current version, about 3 years now, and I had locks back when I first moved to LA as well.
As a kid, we were just talking about that top of the show. He was on Ellen today.
DeAndre.
Yeah, DeAndre. Do you know him? You've been tweeting about him?
Yeah. I mean, he always comes up because, for us, he just really kind of embodies everything that the short film is about. For us, one of our big goals was to normalize Black hair, to showcase a young Black father that has locks, that has tattoos, somebody that if you saw them on the street, you would assume maybe, not the best thing. Maybe you cross the street, maybe you lock the car window or whatever. But you wouldn't think that a young Black man that looks like that would be a loving father. And I think that's kind of been a situation with DeAndre where people are trying to judge him based off of things that he has no control over. He's a young man.
He wants to be a veterinarian.
He's great, and he's such a lovely kid.
Yes,
such a lovely kid.
Yeah. Are you surprised that it's getting like the school's not capitulating? Because I'm surprised that all of the backlash that they're like, okay, we made a mistake. You can graduate. Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't done that.
Well, it's a small school in a small town in Texas, and they're kind of set in their ways. And I guess they changed this rule recently because he's been growing his locks since 7th grade.
Right.
They didn't, as with locks, they don't grow overnight. And so,
no.
He just really he actually just recently changed schools, so he's not even dealing with that situation anymore. His mother, Sandy, got him up out of there.
So you've been in contact.
Yeah. We have something really special planned for him that I can't talk about right now, but hopefully it'll be coming out within the next couple of days.
You don't want to do it exclusive here? No one's listening. Come on, Matthew A. Cherry. It's the Karen Hunter Show. Drop something here.
I know. Hey, look, you put the ABB out, I'm here.
All right.